Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Shark Gaming's Heroes of the Storm Guides for New Players. In this video we are going to be going over some common terms I wanted to share with some people, or share with you guys, as not everyone is, you might not all be familiar with these. It really depends on the types of games you're used to playing, on whether or not you're going to recognize these. So if you are new or a veteran to the game, it doesn't really matter, and you think there's a word that I missed that you've learned while you've been playing Heroes of the Storm specifically, put it down in the comments. Let other people know. We can create kind of a I guess a dictionary around this particular video, and I do have quite a few to go over, so let's get started here. The first ability, or the first common term I have for you today, is cooldown, or CD as it's more often referred to in combat, or not combat, chat, where that simply means your cooldown ability right here. So Hunter's Mark is currently on CD. It comes off of CD now, so we're going to miss him. So we'll just go ahead and use that, and use my Q ability, and now you can see all these abilities are on cooldown. So that's all that means. That's all that means right there. So let's see here. Next thing you might see in chat is CC. That's specifically referring to crowd control, and that simply means any ability that causes you to lose control of your character. There's two different types of CC. There is hard CC. For example, Lunar Flare here is a hard CC. You will lose 100% capability of your hero because it's going to stun you for 1 second. The second type, which I don't have on this particular character, is a soft CC, and that is the most common version of that is a slow. I don't have one to show you, but just keep in mind anything that partially reduces your hero's capability, or partially removes or lowers your personal capability of controlling your character, is a soft control, whereas a stun, knock up, etc., where you lose 100% of your ability to control your character, is considered hard control. Oh, girl, come on. Yeah, very nice. Getting them bot kills. Aw, yeah. Aw, yeah, son. Alright, let's keep on going. Gank. Gank is when there is a rotation to a new lane from one of your teammates, or you might do it yourself, to attack a lane with the intention of putting additional pressure on that lane, but not necessarily to kill anyone in that lane. So for example, if I were to rotate downward in this direction to this lane and attack Nazebo here, that would be considered a gank. Now normally you would do this when you have teammates nearby who can actually help you attack, because this particular character she's a support, so she doesn't do that much damage. Now would not have been surprised at all if I had died. So typically when that happens, you're going to be attacking a lane where you have teammates, and you should communicate that you're on the way and what target you want to attack. If you pick up a kill, that's a bonus. The whole point of a gank is to put added pressure on the lane, not to get a kill. So keep that in mind. So what else do we got? Let's see. We got build. So build is pretty simple. Build just simply refers to whatever talent choices you have chosen so far for your character. Some people will create preemptive builds that they will use often throughout the game on their favorite heroes. That's all that means. Nothing really special about that. Sonya, spin or no? Okay, no? Okay. Anyways, let's see. MMR. Another fairly simple concept. While there's a lot that goes into calculating your MMR simply means your matchmaking rating, which is the rating that the game itself has decided to basically, it's how it matches you with other players. So the better you are at playing, the higher your MMR rating. The higher your MMR rating is, the better players you're going to be playing against. Basically is how that works. Okay. You know, talking about all these terms while also trying to land this rather difficult stun is rather difficult. Let's see. Ult. If you ever see it in the chat box, ult, U-L-T, ult-T, U-L-T-I. That, or ultimate, because they're not called ultimates in this game. An ultimate is simply talking about your R ability, which is, come on now. Your R ability is your heroic ability, which you get at level 10. Yes, you can see here they're called heroics, but because of other games, how they're like League of Legends, they're called ultimates. Some people might call them ulties. It is all it's talking about. All they're talking about is your R button, and that's it. Man, my team is getting picked apart. Absolutely picked apart here. Good thing I'm playing with bots. Let's see here. DPS is actually another MMO term that simply means damage per second, how much damage your hero can do per second. However, it's been adapted in a way to, instead of meaning how much damage per second your hero is capable of doing, it has been adapted to mean how much, or rather not how much, but it's been adapted to mean that your character is a DPS, or it is a damage based hero instead of a support based hero or a tank based hero. For example, the character I am playing right now is a support based hero. I can go for damage, but it is not okay, it is not her main focus. Random whispering, that is. So any older gamer might recognize this term as DD instead of DPS. DD means damage dealer. Essentially people use it the exact same way now, so just keep that in mind. Let's see. No. So if you ever see Q, W, E, or R, this is essentially someone talking about your abilities, and that's it. They're just too lazy to name the ability, or they may not know the name of your ability, but they know where it's located on your ability bar, which is also, it can also be true. So that's all they're talking about when they say that. Q, W, E, or R. Let's see. What else do we have? We have buff. Oh, probably gonna die. Yep. Buff. It has a double meaning. Buffs in the game are anything that increases your character's capabilities, more or less. It can be pretty much, technically picking up one of these talents is a buff. Not necessarily your heroic ability. However, this heroic ability, Shadow Stalk, is literally a buff. It will put your characters into a stealth mode as well as increase your movement speed. That is a buff. Secondly, the secondary version of that you might see people talking about is whenever Blizzard actually patches in permanent increases to the hero's capabilities, that's also considered a buff. So keep that in mind. That's all people are talking about. Depending on the context of the conversation will depend on what exactly they're talking about, whether it's a permanent buff that Blizzard did in a patch, or whether or not it's a temporary buff that was gained during gameplay. Can you die, please? I want you to die. No? Okay. That's alright.
It is over.
That's okay. Let's see. Alternatively, is instead of a buff, there is a nerf. Now this one does not have a secondary meaning for both in-game and out-of-game. Nerf is exactly the opposite of a buff out of the game. So if Blizzard nerfs a character, that's Blizzard buffs a character, that is the act of permanently increasing the character's capability. If Blizzard nerfs a hero, that is permanently decreasing the hero's capabilities. In-game, an in-game nerf is actually going to be referred to as a debuff instead. You won't really ever see anyone call something a nerf or I got nerfed while in combat or anything like that. You're going to see people call it a come on, get out of here. You're going to see people refer to it as a debuff. It's not a very common thing you'll see in game. People don't really talk about it in the game of whether or not they were buffed or debuffed. They refer to everything by their actual names. Like Hunter's Mark, for example, is a debuff. It debuffs the target by increasing their damage taken by 25% for 4 seconds. It reduces how much they can survive against, is basically what that's doing. So, excuse me. Let's see, let's just move on here. Passive, any ability that does not have to be activated. So all of these abilities right here have to be manually activated to work properly. For me to use my owl, I have to activate the owl. For me to use sprint, I have to activate the sprint. I have to press the button by consciously making a decision to do so. A passive is the opposite of that. Anything that you do not have to manually activate is a passive. So, my team is just getting destroyed, man. Let's see. Tank has a double meaning as well. A tank is, for example, this gentleman right here. That is the enemy team's tank. He is designed to absorb damage and CC and walk out of the fight alive still, whereas other characters are designed to deal damage but have very little health, so they easily killed. I am missing all of these stuns because I'm just not paying attention to what I'm doing here. Alternatively, tank can be a verb. If you are the person taking damage, a large portion of damage, people might refer to that as tanking. Face tanking is another term that might get used. Now that doesn't necessarily mean you are the tank. However, most oftentimes the tank is the person tanking the damage. if that makes sense. Well, I guess I'll just mosey on out, or not. Let's mosey on out, please. Can I mosey? Thank you for letting me mosey. There was very good moseying done there. Let's see. The tank of the team is going to be most likely the person that engages the fight. They usually have high health, high CC. ETC is a great example, probably the best tank in the game. And he's very good at tanking damage and surviving it. So let's see. Peel. Peel is another word you might see often, usually in the form of "why didn't you peel for me?" Basically all that means is someone on your team, usually your tank or warrior character, is using their CC ability to make it easier for you to reposition or escape being attacked. My team over there dying again. We don't really have yeah, never mind. We're just super far behind because I'm not really paying attention to that much to the game, and this is a pretty snowbally map. But let's see, let's try and get through of everything. So peel, whenever a teammate helps you kite or escape a pursuer by using CC, whether it's soft or hard CC. Let's see, some more. Proc. This is fairly uncommon. I did see this in the new player Reddit portion of Heroes of the Storm. Someone saying that they learned what proc meant since they've started playing this game. Now it's not a very I don't think I've ever seen someone say proc in this game, because there's really not very many real procs. There's not very many abilities or anything in this game that are an actual proc, and there are several different meanings depending on who you're talking to and what proc means. For the most part, proc stands for programmed random occurrence. For example, in Heroes or World of Warcraft, if you have a weapon that has, let's say, 20% chance to deal 10% of the your target's health as additional damage, that is a proc. It's a programmed random occurrence. However, there are no programmed random occurrences in this game that I know of. Everything is very, very specific. Everything is programmed to do exactly what it says to do. So if it says deal X% extra damage on hit, that's exactly what's gonna happen. I can't think of any actual random events in this game, so that's basically what I mean by the main reason why I've never seen it being used in game. So, hi. Let's see, or OOM. If you ever see or OOM, that is quite literally someone saying, "I have no mana." It literally means out of mana. How about right here? Maybe. Nope. I thought maybe if they were human, definitely would have happened. That's exactly where they would have gone if they were humans. Hey guys, how's it going? I wish I had a team. Where'd my team go? Teammates? Okay, I'll turn in. That's fine. So pretty straightforward. Let's see. Push. You're going to see a lot, actually. Push is anytime. See these guys right here. This is pushing. This is what push means. When you group, well, you don't necessarily have to group. If you see someone say, "I'm split pushing," usually means they're in a lane by themselves and they are trying to create an advantage for your team by destroying an objective by themselves while your team otherwise distracts the enemy team. So that's a split push. A push is grouping and trying to push down the enemy team, an enemy team objective, and that's basically it. So you're going to see that quite often, though. Hey, buddy, how's it going? Oh, yeah, thank you. Oh, I can't kill you. Can't kill you at all. Let's see. We're almost done here. The game is probably going to end sometime soon. Squishy. Squishy is another term you might not be aware of. Again, this probably originated in MMOs. I'm not really sure. I have never really researched the word squishy, but essentially it means any target that has the exact opposite of a tank. Actually, it's anything that has low health and can die easily because they do not have the ability to take very much damage. For example, I am currently playing a relatively squishy character. Asmodon, even though he is not a tank, is actually not very squishy at all. He can actually take quite a bit of damage over the course of a fight, and he can build for some sustain, so he can heal his health while dealing damage, which makes him even more potent of a character in a fight. Now, he doesn't really have very good team fight capabilities, but that is a different story. See how much damage he's gonna die, but see how much damage he was able to take before he fell. That's pretty much what a tank does, whereas a squishy, like these guys, all of these guys right here, squishy, easy to kill individually. Kel'Thas, this guy right here, squishy character, very easily dies to damage, the exact opposite of what would be considered squishy. Let's see, NPC. NPC simply means non-player character. Hold on. Wait for it, maybe. Ooh. Oh, that good snipe though. My bad. I was distracted. NPC, basically non-player character. There's not really any non-player characters in this game. I guess bots could be technically considered non-player characters because a player is not playing them, but NPC is more of a RPG type word, I guess. I mean, it's not really a... Whoops, that was a terrible... Nope, never mind, it wasn't a terrible owl, it just lag made it look terrible. So, you probably won't see NPC very often, basically, is what I'm getting at. Completely missed that. Let's see, looks like my last term I want to go over here is soak, or laning, or lane. Basically, anytime you see someone say soak or laning or lane, anything along those lines, they simply basically mean they want you to go into a lane and kill minions so that you get experience for your team. Simple as that. Nothing else to that particular term. They just want you to go into a lane and kill minions so you can get experience for your team. This is going to be most commonly seen before level 10. After level 10, you're going to see people say group up, rather than saying lane, soak, etc. So let's see, we have AoE, I can easily show you what AoE is. This is an AoE, area of effect. It doesn't necessarily have to deal damage. It can heal. That's an AoE right there. Pretty much anything with an area of effect capability is an AoE. Simple as that. Let's see here. Hey, buddy. Let me just sprint out of here. Well, never mind. This gentleman right here, very hard to get away from, very hard to peel off of, etc., etc. He is pretty much the anti-Tyrande, the counter to Tyrande, so keep that in mind. Farm, another term you might see. Farm basically means the exact same thing as soak or laning. Jungling is the act of capturing camps. So if you were to come over here and kill this, that's technically jungling. However, jungling is not the same in this game as it is in like Dota or League of Legends, where someone can go into the jungle and stay in the jungle at all times, and it's beneficial to the team. If you go and watch the basic objectives video, in that video I'll explain jungling more thoroughly. Essentially, there's a point in time in the game to actually get the mercenary camps, which is what they are called in this game, rather than jungle camps. Last one I actually have, which is great timing since the game ended, Wombo Combo. You might see this every once in a while. Essentially, what a Wombo Combo is when a group of people perfectly align the stars so that all of their ultimates land on the enemy team in such a way that they just pretty much instantly die. There are a few Wombo combos out there, a combination of various hero ultimates or heroic abilities that will literally suck up everything into a nice little ball and then annihilate the enemy team. And if done correctly, a Wombo combo can get a pentakill within seconds. So that is what a Wombo combo is. Go out, mess around with various ults and kind of get an idea of what kind of Wombo combos you can come up with. But that's basically it, and that is actually the last term I have for you guys, which is great because the game's over and that means the video is over. So if you found this helpful, thumbs up. If you have any questions or if you've learned any other terms that I didn't really go about, I didn't say during the video, put them down in the comments. Let's basically try and make like a dictionary, so to speak, based off of this video, so people can come in and be like, oh, I learned this, I learned that, and maybe I'll update this at some point in time once we get enough words. I don't know, that might make the video last too long. But if you haven't subscribed yet and you enjoy this video, subscribe so you get notified when other videos just like this. I have a whole bunch of guides planned out. I have several already created, so subscribe so you can see more. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, as always, you have a good rest of your day.